Hey guys, Jacob here. In today's video, this is going to be this week's vendor reset. It is the 6th of April 2021. As usual, we're going to be starting at the front desk vendor. This week, they're selling the Anarchist Cookbook, the Golden Gear Backpack. You can use this for status effects style builds or armor regen style builds. If you guys want to roll armor regen on this and keep it the way it is, or roll even more status effects or crit, you guys can use this backpack pretty well and optimize it if you guys do not have one. Or I'd recommend farming the loot allocation areas to get your hands on a better one. They're also selling a military G36 with max health damage if you guys need that for an AR build. But other than that, that's all they're really selling this week at the front desk vendor. Next is going to be the clan vendor. This week they're selling the everyday carry plate carrier. This is the Bellstone Armory, perfectly efficient. If you guys don't have this, recommend grabbing it. This one's not actually too bad. It has pretty decent hazard protection and pretty decent armor. You can roll the skill haste for armor regen or even critical hit chance or headshot, depending on what kind of build you guys are trying to make. But efficient is pretty nice if you guys are especially using it for team play or trying to keep yourself alive if you're constantly popping armor kits. I'm going to scroll through a few more items in case any of you guys need to pick this stuff up. But overall, that's all they're really selling at the clan vendor. They are selling these HNU Corporation gloves, which are double yellows if you guys are trying to make a skill build. And they're selling max shotgun damage if you guys need that for a shotgun build. And also skill damage if you guys need that as well for a skill build. But other than that, that's all they're really selling besides those few items. Alright, next up on the list is going to be the Theater Settlements. This week they're selling the Overlord Ornaments Fox's Prayer knee pads. And I always recommend these, especially if you guys are new and you do not have these. These are perfect for DPS style builds and even armor builds. I know some people really use them just for that damage charts off cover and rifle damage. But if you guys don't have these, I would definitely recommend picking them up. And even if you don't know what build you're going to use them on, especially if you're new to the game. They're selling max critical hit damage on a rifle if you guys need that. But other than that, that's all they're really selling at the Theater Settlement this week. Over at the campus settlement this week, they're selling the White Death Sniper. This one's actually pretty decent. This is actually probably the best one I've seen in a while for sale. I wish it had damage to armor or damage targets off cover or even, critical hit damage, but it works. If you guys don't have this, I'd highly recommend picking it up due to the fact that you can change the talent and have a pretty decent White Death Sniper here. I know some people are going to want a different talent on the attributes. You can also farm loot allocation areas if you want to find a better one of these, but this one is pretty decent. They're also selling a custom M44, but it's not as good as the White Death. But other than that, that's all they're really selling at the campus settlement this week. Alright, now we're going to be starting at the Dark Zones. We're starting at Dark Zone West as usual. This week they're selling the Backup Boomstick. This one is actually pretty much almost triple God Roll. The only sad thing is it has a pretty shit talent for a sawed-off shotgun. But it works if you guys don't have one. I'd recommend grabbing it if you need it. But at the same time, it will cost you 153 credits. So if you guys are having trouble getting credits in the Dark Zone, then I'd recommend saving them to buy something you really want. But other than that, they are selling a few pieces of Negotiators, or a piece of Negotiators if you guys need that, and Rigor if you guys are looking for those pieces. They are selling Yalgear gloves, which the only reason I'm going to point these out because they have critical hit damage and weapon handling. If you guys need these for a hazard style build, you can roll hazard protection for the weapon handling and have critical hit damage, or even put critical hit chance and put this on a hazard slash weapon damage build if you're running the two-piece. But other than that, that's all they're really selling at the Dark Zone West vendor. Now we're over at DZ South. This week they're selling the Providence Defense Perfect Vigilance Backpack. If you guys don't have this, I'd recommend getting it. I know the critical chance is a little low and it has skill haste on it, but I know a lot of people really want to use this backpack and also really want to get this backpack. So if you guys don't have one that has triple reds, I'd recommend grabbing this so you can optimize it to the max if you guys want to make an all crit DPS style build. But other than that, that's all they're really selling besides this Arali Holdings with max critical hit damage. If you guys need that for a critical hit build, I'd recommend grabbing this piece and rolling the critical hit damage. But at the same time, it really depends on if you guys really want to spend your credits, because I know they're a bit of a pain in the ass to get. But that's going to be about it for Dark Zone South. The final Dark Zone on the list is going to be DZ East. This week they're selling a Carnage. It's pretty awful. Definitely would not recommend picking this one up at least. And if you guys want this, I'd recommend farming loot allocation areas to get it. They're selling a custom LD682 with max critical hit damage if you guys need that. But other than that, they are selling this Ace and 8 mask if you guys need that for the sniper gear set. But that's all they're really selling this week at Dark Zone East. Alright, now we're in New York City. Keep this in mind, they do not sell any named items at the front desk here. I will scroll through all these weapons in case any of you guys need them or need their talents. They are selling max critical chance on rifles if you guys need that. But overall, they're not really selling much this week. They're selling a somber chest piece for critical hit damage, or the one piece if you guys need that, if you want to roll explosive resistance. But other than that, they're not really selling much at the front desk vendor. Now, if you guys go through the atrium right here and take a left and then go through this green tent and go straight, Roy Benitez will be right here at the very end. This week, he isn't really selling much either. He is selling a pretty average Negev if you guys are looking for that weapon with Unhinged. And he's selling max skill haste on this Overlord Armament's vest. But that's really going to be about it, all they're really selling. They're selling a few items you guys might actually need, and I would recommend picking up in this week's vendor reset. But overall, there's not a whole lot. One thing I will mention, by the way, I know some people are going to ask, no, I'm not stopping, Division. I'm still going to keep covering the game, because people are asking me why I'm, covering Outriders now. Am I permanently done with Division? No, I am not. So there's your answer to that. Just want to get that clear real quick. But thanks all for watching. Make sure you subscribe for more Division 2 content, and I'll catch you guys all later.